morning. Good Tuesday morning, actually, February the 12th. Glad to have you with us on Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Kim Best.
And I'm Wayne Alley. Good Tuesday morning to you there. Hope you're doing well.
Well, that with 2 more days until Valentine's Day.
Gosh. Oh,
so if
boy,
you've not gotten your loved ones a goodie or something to say thank you and I love you, you better rush on out. You've got 2 days left.
Yeah, hey, don't forget, chainsaws are on sale somewhere, okay?
Not funny.
And
Not funny.
Oh, come on now. You know, lawnmowers.
Not funny.
Weed eaters.
Still not funny.
Maybe.
It's more about the token. It's more about this. You've thought about it. You have gone out. Whether you can even make a card, write a sweet letter. I told you my husband's great at that.
Yeah, Michael's talented.
Well, you know, it doesn't. He is talented, but you can still, even if you're not a talented person, it's all about you took the time to sit down and write something special to the person you love, whether it's grandma, mom, dad, friend, husband, wife.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
I wrote this letter just for you.
E-I-E-I-O.
Oh my goodness, good morning and on the show today.
So we have 2 days to put up with this, right?
Yes.
Okay, we have 2 days before Valentine's Day, yes. All right.
Who did you speak with at the American Red Cross Wayne County chapter, Mr. Wayne?
Oh, gee whiz, which time?
You spoke with Kim.
I did.
Yes, you did recently.
Kim Berrier, yes. Kim came up and talked with us the other day, just kind of out of the blue, and I'm so glad she did. She had some great information for us, some new numbers for us, and she has a lot of good information for us, too. All right. Is it time to talk to Kim?
No, not yet. I'm just saying who's on the show.
Oh, Kim Berrier's on the show. We're going to be talking to her.
I believe you talked with someone at Veterans Affairs.
I did. I talked to Shaunne Moore. Now, Shaunne Moore is the person, if you're in service and you're getting ready to separate, or you're getting ready to, or let's say if you've already left service and you're retired, or you're in a new career, that's fine. But you may not be aware of some of the things that are available to you from the service.
That's
from
exactly
having
right.
retired. So Shaunne can help you with that. If you'll just simply get up with Shaunne Moore out at the Veteran Service Office, she can tell you about a lot of things that may be available to you and tell you how to take advantage of some of these things that are available to you. And she's going to be with us a little later on.
Yeah, and if they stay tuned and listen to the interview, I'm sure we'll all learn a little something.
Exactly right.
And then you also talked with Jessica.
Jessica Strickland, who loves to grow things. She is our horticulture agent here in Wayne County for the Cooperative Extension Service, and she is very knowledgeable. She's going to help us out this morning.
That's right.
All right.
That's all coming up.
That's all coming up. The Wall That Heals is coming to Wayne County.
Yes, it is. That's going to be fabulous.
It's going to be fabulous. It is so great. It is so reverent. It is so needed. And it's going to be right here in Goldsboro, Wayne County, coming up in April. There'll be a flyover. Details are still being put together with this for this event. So I want to tell you more about it. The later we get in the year and the closer we get to April, we'll tell you more about it.
And it'll be at Wayne Community College, right?
It'll be at the college, yeah.
Wonderful.
It sure will.
Well, let me tell you a quick little story.
Oh, boy.
This is a story about a mayor, the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, and how he went above and beyond.
Newark?
I didn't say Newark.
No, I did.
Newark.
Newark. Okay, I got it.
Listen up, Wayne.
Newark, New Jersey.
This is how a mayor can go above and beyond his call of duty.
Oh, okay.
Listen to what this mayor did. He saved a woman from a house fire, shoveled the driveway of a local resident, and lived on food stamps himself on purpose just to get a first-hand experience of life on food stamps.
Wow.
These are a few of the things this local man did. Now, Newark, New Jersey, Mayor Cory Booker has saved a dog who was left out in the freezing cold temperatures way too long. Listen up. A reporter and crew member for New York's WABC saw the dog on the front step of a home in Newark on a Thursday evening. He stopped and backed up several times to check on the dog. Then he tweeted to the mayor, Booker, about the situation. You know, he used Twitter. He tweeted. Booker responded to the scene and loaded the shaking dog into a warm police car. He kept him in the police car while he called her owner to say it was unacceptable to keep this Chihuahua little dog outside in the cold for that long.
I mean, it can be 80 degrees outside and they're standing there doing
Imagine in freezing cold temperatures.
I know.
The owner came rushing to the scene, claimed to have no idea how the Chihuahua got outside, and they returned home. This is brutal weather. You just can't leave your dogs out here on a day like this and go away and expect them to be okay, Booker said. That's what you call above and beyond the call of duty.
Yeah.
When the policeman calls or tweets and says this is what's going on, and then that mayor rushes to the scene to take care of that little chihuahua.
That's very interesting, and whether you agree with what he did or not, and I don't know of anyone who would disagree with that.
Right.
You wonder, first of all, had it been anybody else, they would have sent a police car.
Right,
to do
exactly.
this.
He
But
did
did
it himself.
He went himself.
Well, from what I understand, he's a very hands-on mayor, and from these examples of saving a woman from a house fire, shoveling the driveway of a local resident just because he wanted to,
Yeah.
and then living on food stamps and nothing else for a period of time just so he can see what it's like to live on food stamps. That shows you right there. He's very hands-on, and he wants to live the experience himself.
Yeah, obviously, he's a very curious
Yes.
man about how things work and how things...
In his city.
Yeah, in his city.
Exactly.
Well, good for him. That's kind of neat. That's a neat story.
Isn't that a neat little story?
Yes, it's a neat little story.
SWAT.
What, was there a fly right there?
Yes, there was.
Oh, okay, come on, Ken. All right, book discussion, book panel discussion, book discussion. There's a lot of things going on with the Wayne County Reads. Wayne County Reads, and there'll be several things going on. The book discussion at Brown Bag Book Club at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base Library.
That's right.
That's on Wednesday of this week. That's tomorrow till noon, or rather at noon, at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base Library. And then on the 19th, a panel discussion entitled Faith and Family in the book, Bless Me Ultima. The panelists will include Susana Garcia, Michelle Estrada, Alma Islas, and Julio Morales. Now, we've had a couple of those folks in the studio with us here.
Yes, we have.
The moderator will be Faye Finch, and that will be taking place at Wheel Auditorium at the Wayne County Public Library, February 19th. February 19th. That's next Tuesday. That's a week from today. At 7 p.m. And then another book discussion at Seymour Johnson on the 21st. And then after that, it's just more. It just goes on and on and on. The book of the Wayne County Reads, Bless Me Ultima.
There'll be all kinds of great things going on for the whole year.
I'm telling you, really.
It will.
Really.
Well, you know, this is Black History Month.
It is.
And there are quite a few things going on around our communities to celebrate Black History Month. But tomorrow, Wednesday, February the 13th at 10:30 a.m. and the cost is free at Wayne Services on Aging. They are having exhibitions and all kinds of information on local black leaders. They'll have refreshments served and all kinds of information taking place at Wayne Services on Aging at 10:30 a.m. to celebrate Black History Month. Free of charge.
Okay. Well, today is February 12th.
Yes,
right?
it is. All day long.
Does that date mean anything?
Well, February 15th is President's Day, right?
Well, I don't know about this year. President's Day varies. It's
Okay.
always a Monday, and it moves around a little bit, but you were real close.
Okay.
Because Washington's birthday is on the 22nd.
That's right.
And today is the anniversary of Abe Lincoln.
Okay.
Abraham Lincoln's birthday is February 12th.
Okay, okay.
And when Abraham Lincoln would have been 100 years old,
My goodness.
1909, he was born in 1809, and this day, on his birthday in 1909, a group got together and decided, here it is right here.
I don't know how you can see that.
I know, it's kind of tiny there. Anyway, a group of people got together and created an organization called the NAACP.
Yes, yes.
And that was on Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was founded on this date in 1909.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Abe Lincoln was the 16th president of the U.S., and there's still some people who say he was not a good president. There were some people who say he was a great president, and I don't think that argument will ever be settled, but it's interesting to hear both sides of the argument, and I've heard both sides. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
All right, there we go.
It's an interesting time in our American history, and I'll tell you what, if you're at all interested in history, that is one. At the very beginning, in the mid 1700s, 1750s and up, and later, and around the mid 1800s, extremely important, And if you would just simply take the time, I mean, it's like a novel. It's a mystery, and it's exciting what happened in this country in the mid 1700s and the mid 1800s. If you want to read a good book, I mean, it's full of everything.
Which one's the best book?
Oh my goodness, there's so many of them. Of course, now you can't believe all that you read because some of them are really biased. So you have to really be careful. That's why I would encourage you to get more than one source. Always read more than one book about any particular topic when it comes to history, because it's so easy. Some people will take advantage of the moment and maybe do a little editing on their own.
Right.
So you're not really sure exactly what you're reading is true or not, and you can't take what is written at face value. You have to do research to determine what's true and what's not true. And sooner or later, if you do enough research, you'll figure it out as to who's telling the truth. But it's such a fascinating period of time, the mid 1800s, here in the good old U.S. of A.
That's exactly right.
I'm telling you, it's
well, this
really
isn't
good.
history, but are you interested in playing bingo?
Bingo!
Well, this Friday is your opportunity.
And Bingo was her name.
At 7 o'clock p.m. at the Herman Park Center, you can come free of charge, and the Goldsboro Parks and Recreation will be hosting bingo. They're going to also offer this opportunity every second and fourth Friday of each month at 7 o'clock p.m. If you'd like to find out additional information, call 739-7491. And bingo was his name of it.
That's good. Oh, it was a he, wasn't he? Bingo was a he.
Yeah, I was wondering which she was.
Well, I don't know. You know, I'm kind of like that. Anyway, what do we do now? We go to...
I believe we do. We're going to go to Jessica? No, we're going to the Veterans Affairs. We're going to Red Cross. We don't know where we're going. We're going to Red Cross first.
The Red Cross. Oh, okay. That's like people who give blood, right?
People who give blood are blood donors, yes.
Now recently, Kim, we had a blood drive between the city and the county, a bit of a friendly competition there.
Yeah.
And the city won.
They did.
That's hard to say.
We're all winners.
I guess so.
Because we're all blood donors, and you all gave the gift of life. That makes you all winners.
And you know, I didn't realize this, but there's been a change in the total number of blood units.
We initially thought we collected 77.
77 was the total I had, yeah.
We had 79.
79.
Yes, the number actually went up.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Now, what will happen with that blood?
Well, from Wayne County, it left the area, went to Wilmington, to our distribution center in Wilmington, and from there it will end up in our lab in Durham to be tested, and what we call manufactured, which is a little misleading term. It doesn't. We're not really manufacturing anything because it's already been made by the blood donor. But those components have to be separated from each other in the lab.
Right, into 3 separate...
Correct. 3 separate components.
Components of blood. And those 3 units will be used to help save a life, provide a blood transfusion, help an accident victim, a cancer patient, a newborn baby,
or mama.
Or mama. Just all kinds of things.
You never know what kind of patient you're going to have and when you're going to need it. It could be the scheduled surgery, someone's having a hip replacement. It could be a car accident victim, and a type of emergency. So you never know. We got to be prepared beforehand. Beforehand,
yeah. Now, what are the types of blood most needed right now?
Well, we do have an urgent need for O negative, O positive.
O negative.
Yes,
yeah.
O positive and B negative. Those are the 3 types that we tend to use the most of.
Okay, O negative, O positive, and B negative are needed desperately right now.
Very, very much an urgent need, yes.
I was once told that I read somewhere that my blood type was a type A, but it was a type O.
You are type O?
No, it was a type O.
Oh, I get it. It was a type O. I laughed.
That's a blood donor joke. Okay, but anyway.
And I laughed at it.
Oh,
so
you
it was
did,
a good
didn't you?
one.
Yeah. But the thing is, it is no laughing matter.
It's not.
Blood is desperately needed.
Yes.
Every 56 days, someone can give blood, and it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. Well, you gave.
I gave.
At our blood drive, our first annual county versus city blood drive, you gave.
Yeah, boy, you wait till next year.
Roll up your sleeve.
Yeah, we're going to do this again. We're going to do this again.
Yay.
We're going to challenge the city, and we're going to do this again next year.
I have no doubt you'll come back and beat them.
Well, thank you very much. It was an honor to participate, and I'm always honored to give blood. It's a wonderful, and it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's a gift of life.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's the best and it's the most rewarding gift you can give.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
It
Thank
is.
you.
Why wouldn't anyone do it? Well, I know there are some who can't.
Right.
Those who are, for medical reasons or for whatever reason, they've been out of the country or something,
Right.
they can't. But they can always volunteer.
Or they can recruit a surrogate donor, someone in their place.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, Kim, how does someone get information about giving blood? What do you do?
RedCrossBlood.org is a fabulous resource. RedCrossBlood.org.
Okay.
Give you all kinds of information on eligibility requirements, like we were just talking about. If you've traveled somewhere and you want to know if you can give again and when. RedCrossBlood.org will also tell you where to go donate, where you can find a blood drive, which is helpful.
Right.
But it will also allow a donor to create what we call a donor profile, so that you can track your donations, the number of donations that you've made over a lifetime, when you're eligible to give again. So it's your information, your personal information at your fingertips. You don't have to call anybody to access it. You can create that donor base or donor profile for yourself.
That is great. All right. Kim Berrier is our guest today with the Red Cross. She is the Senior Donor Recruitment Representative working out of the Wilmington office. How big an area do you cover?
Actually, I've changed. I now have an office here in Wayne County. Yes.
Wow.
I'm thrilled.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, you live here in Wayne County.
I do. I live in Pikeville. I've lived here for almost 7 years.
Right.
And I just recently, this month, moved my office here.
Well, that is wonderful.
I'm very happy.
I'm sure.
I'm located at the building you see behind us.
Yeah.
On
right
George
over
Street.
here.
Yeah, on George Street. And we have a blood drive there.
Which one of those windows is yours?
I didn't get a corner off.
Oh. Well, we're going to have to work on that, okay?
Yeah, you help me
We'll
with
talk
that.
to somebody. We'll talk to Tammy or somebody
Yeah,
out
there
there.
you go.
We'll work on
We'll
that.
get on her. But yeah, we have this building behind us. We actually have a blood drive there the second Tuesday of every month.
That's good to know.
Yes.
The second Tuesday of every month, there's a blood drive at the Red Cross office.
Yes.
That's at 601 North George Street.
Correct.
601?
Yes.
601 North George Street. 735-7201.
Very good.
All right. Well, I try.
You do well.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Kim Berrier, Red Cross. Thank you.
Thank you.
On WGTV today, Wayne Goldsboro Television.
Yes, we
It
are.
must be getting late in the morning or something. I don't.
It certainly is. Let's see. Wayne, there was a guest speaker. There will be a guest speaker at the end of this month.
Really?
Named Bea Latham at the Wayne County Museum.
Be a what?
I don't know, Latham?
Be a Lantham.
Yeah, Bea Latham.
Oh.
Come on, pay attention.
All right. I thought you were saying something else.
First name is Bea, B-E-A, Latham.
B. Lantham. Okay.
She'll be a guest speaker at the Wayne County Museum here in Goldsboro, Tuesday, February 26th at 7 p.m. At no cost, you can go and talk to her. She is going to be speaking on historic Bath, the state historic site.
Wow.
Yes.
Used to be the state capitol.
Exactly.
Years, a long time ago.
She's going to give a presentation on John Lawson, the botanist, explorer, and town father. The program is free and open to the public, and she'll be giving all kinds of insights about Bath. Let's see. Yes, it'll be right there at the museum, free of charge. Everybody knows where the Wayne County Museum is, I certainly hope.
Hope so. It's on North William
116
Street.
North William Street.
right,
That's
near the
exactly
post
right.
You know, Bath is it's an interesting place. It's the oldest
It really
town.
is. Mm-hmm.
Oldest town in North Carolina, the oldest settlement, still in existence. Fascinating. So she's going to be talking about that.
She is. She's going to talk about historic Bath, state historic site, and she's going to, let's see, she's giving the presentation on John Lawson, of course, like I said.
Right.
And he is the town father of Bath, North Carolina.
Well, okay.
That ought to be interesting.
Outstanding. I have a trivia question.
All right, let's hear it.
Here's the trivia question. I'll ask, and then we'll answer it during the next segment.
All right.
Ha! The category is postage stamps.
I feel like I'm on Wheel of Fortune or something.
Hey,
Category.
postage stamps. What was the first wildlife featured on a U.S. postage stamp?
Wildlife.
Now, if you enjoy looking at stamps, and a lot of people do, and I do, there's stamps have depicted, have had photographs or depictions of all kinds of animals. All kinds.
I would say a duck or a deer.
Well, that's good.
Thank you, but that's wrong.
That's wrong, yeah.
Good,
What
but wrong.
was the first, and duck and deer have all been on,
Okay.
but what was the very first animal featured on a U.S. postage stamp? You think about that.
Bear? I don't know.
Bear's a good answer.
But wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong.
That's wrong too. So it's
really
not a duck,
wrong.
a deer, or a bear.
It's really wrong. Yeah.
Oh.
So let's see. It's not Yogi, and it's not Bambi, and it's not Donald.
Nope.
Okay. Not a
No.
duck or
About
deer or
Tweety
a bear.
Bird.
No.
Okay. No, we'll just wait then. If all my guesses are wrong, we'll keep waiting.
Well, they were all wrong. Sorry.
Oh well.
Oh well. Around
What
the
you
time
got?
of World War I, did you ever wonder about this?
I don't know. What is it?
Around the time of World War I, which was in the late 19-teens, American battery manufacturers, the War Industries Board, and a few government agencies all got together to develop some nationally uniform specifications for the size of battery cells. Now, at that time, as you know, there was a lot of industry going on. There was a lot of
Right.
new inventions. There was a lot of creations. And in order to make things work and become interchangeable, there were a lot of standards that were set. Screws had to be a certain size,
and width and
nails
all that.
had to be a certain size, and doors were all standardized, and windows and all that. Same with batteries. They standardized batteries, their arrangements in batteries as well, and their minimum performance criteria and other standards as well. In 1924, just a few years later, industry and government representatives met again to figure out a naming system for all those cells and batteries they had just standardized.
Like the A, double A, triple A,
Exactly.
B, C, D, all that.
Exactly.
Okay. We're with you.
They decided to base it around the alphabet, dubbing the smallest cells, single-cell batteries, A. And it went from there to B, C, and D. They also had a number 6 battery that was larger than the other batteries, and it was pretty much commonly used. So they didn't fool with it. They just kept it as a 6, number 6. So you had your A, B, C, D, and number 6. As battery technology changed and improved, the next new sizes of batteries were made. They were added to the naming system, and when smaller batteries came along, they were designated, instead of A, they were smaller batteries, double A, and then triple A.
Right.
Now, the newer size batteries were the right size for the growing consumer electronics industry. So they caught on. And C and D batteries were also found, they also found a niche in the medium and high drain applications. The mid-size A and B batteries now, simply just didn't have a market, and they were more or less, they just disappeared.
Yeah, because you don't hear about B's.
You don't hear about
You hear about
B's?
C's and D's and A's.
And you don't hear, well, you hear about double A's.
Double A, triple
Double
A,
A and triple A.
Not a regular A.
Not a regular A, and not a regular B.
True.
So while you typically won't see either an A or a B battery on the American store shelves, they're still out there in the wild somewhere. And in fact, A batteries were used in early model laptop battery packs,
Really?
and some hobby battery packs as well. B batteries are still sometimes used in Europe for lanterns and bicycle lamps. And according to Energizer, those are the battery people with that silly rabbit that plays the drums, their popularity is dwindling in Europe as well. They might be completely discontinued pretty soon. So that's kind of the history of the how the
Interesting.
batteries became,
And how standards
got
became.
their sizes. Exactly. So A's and B's are, you just don't hear much about them anymore.
That's
or
true.
the number 6s, but double A's, triple A's, and C's and D's.
What are the square ones called again?
Those are the 9-volt batteries.
9-volt, yeah.
Yeah, 9 volts.
So see, they're not even a letter.
That's right. That's right.
Wonder why that is.
You know, I don't know. You know, I need to look at that.
Yes,
Yeah,
do,
I
because
think
they
I
left that
will.
battery completely
They
out. And we use
did.
those in our smoke alarms and all kinds of
That's
things.
right. Well, we use it in here for the cordless mics.
That's
and
right.
It's used for
So you use them a lot.
microphones. Yeah.
So why did they vary away from the letter?
They must be really upset with the
Alphabet?
With the alphabet. Yeah, they're really mad.
Obviously.
Yeah.
They've had enough.
Yeah.
Had enough.
Had enough.
Well,
So there you
Jessica
go.
Strickland is going to be offering something coming up soon, Wayne.
What
it's
is that?
terrarium building workshop.
You're kidding.
How about that?
Oh, that's great.
Thursday, February 28th at 7 p.m., Jessica's going to teach you how to build a terrarium.
Wow.
Bring your own container and we'll supply the rest of the things that you will need.
Really?
That's what it says. It'll be in the Will Auditorium at Wayne County Public Library on Thursday, February the 28th.
You know, I don't see those much anymore. We used to see them everywhere.
I know, what do you really use a terrarium for on a regular
Well,
basis?
Just growing small plants.
Okay.
It's simply a decoration. You use a
Right.
fish bowl or use a bottle or something like that. And you put sand in it and color sand and colored rocks
Okay,
just for decoration. But you can grow plants in them.
great.
Well, those that I saw you could, little small plants.
But I'm sure that's, with her being such a plant person and enthusiast, I'm sure that's exactly what she's going to recommend you use
that
them
would
for.
be very interesting. Terrariums.
Yes, it would. Thursday, February the 28th at 7 p.m., Wayne County Public Library.
Yeah, I used to think terrariums were small dogs, but that's not it.
Why in the world would you think such a
Well,
thing?
terrariers.
Oh, like a terrier.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like a small terrier would come and bite your ankle. You know, and you go, don't do that. Terrarium. Yeah, like chihuahuas might do.
Exactly, exactly. Well, another opportunity is on Saturday, March the 2nd, at the Wayne Center. I can't look at you or I'll laugh.
Okay.
There's a festival to celebrate the Latino culture.
Okay.
That's going to be going on for all ages and all ethnicities. That'll be taking place Saturday, March the 2nd at 2 o'clock p.m. at the Wayne Center. Festival to celebrate Latino culture.
Well, that's at the corner
That'll be
of
fun.
George and Chestnut Street. That will be fun. Sounds like a lot of fun. Okay. See what else we have here.
Can we have the answer to our...
Oh, is it time for that?
Why not?
Well, sure.
Why not?
If you've given that some thought, let's take a look at the answer here, okay? It happened in 1923.
Yes.
The question was, what was the first wildlife featured on a U.S. postage stamp?
Yes.
And I would have thought it would have been before 1923, given John Audubon.
It's not a bear. It's not a duck.
No.
It's not a deer.
No. It's
And a bird. Not a bird of any
Not a
form.
bird of any kind, unless you've seen the buffalo fly.
Buffalo.
Buffalo was
Shoulda
the first.
known.
Should have known. It was 1923. A sepia-colored 30-cent stamp, which in 1923 was a lot of
Yeah.
money. A 30-cent stamp. 2 stamps issued in the late 1800s depicted wildlife, but in secondary roles. It seemed as a secondary role. A bald eagle was shown in a scene, but not necessarily depicted. Was shown on the U.S. coat of arms, and the buffalo was shown being hunted by an Indian in the late 1800s. But a stamp specifically designed to feature an animal, the first one was a buffalo.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think so.
We learned something else today.
And
We'll
isn't
be
it-
so smart at the end of this year from all your trivia.
I know. I can't wait till I get smart. But isn't it interesting that when I was in grade school back in, that was a long time ago.
In the 1800s.
Yeah, back in the late 1800s,
Just
not the
kidding.
early, but the late 1800s. I'm looking. It's interesting that some of the instructors in school, in grade school, convinced some of the students that the buffalo were actually annihilated, that they were extinct. That they,
Really?
Yeah.
Why would they do such a thing?
Well, because they were, in fact, at one time on their way to extinction. But it didn't happen, and there were programs in place in plenty of time to save them. And now,
There's a gracious
there's
plenty.
millions of them. There's a gracious plenty.
There's a gracious plenty of
Like you
buffalo.
said, yeah.
Well, how about that?
There's got to be millions.
Well, Wayne, have you
At
ever...
least 12.
Have you ever thought about how animals can walk on snow and ice without their paws freezing?
I think about it all the time.
Isn't that a question that you ponder on a regular basis?
Gee, I wonder how they do that. How do they walk on what?
Oh, snow and ice.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. How do they walk on snow and ice without their feet freezing? I mean, how do they do that? I think about it all the time.
Oh my goodness. Well, let me tell you how they do it.
Especially chihuahuas.
You've got to stop. Okay, let's see.
Really, I do. I wonder.
Well, let me just tell you how. Because, I mean, think about it. In the winter months, we always, I don't know about you, but I have, like I've told you, I have an inside dog, and a lot of people do, and we take them outside to use the restroom. The restroom. To use the bathroom. You know, and it's cold, and it's freezing out there, so we always worry about them. But we
You're so
shouldn't.
bad.
We shouldn't. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Animals are equipped with an impressive supply of blood vessels under a well-designed layer of soft, yet tough, padding, which is why they generally don't need to boot up and when they get ready to take a walk. When there's snow on the ground, the dogs and cats will be fine. But don't expect dogs or cats to do as well in the cold as their wild relatives, such as the lynx, the wolf, or both of whom have feet that can really stand up to snow or ice, more so than our in-house animals can, our domesticated animals, as we call them.
Right.
Because domesticated animals, they suffer if they're exposed to prolonged cold, exposure to bitter cold.
Yeah.
But those animals that live in the wild, they are the ones who can build up tolerance.
Okay.
So Dr. Stu Nelson, chief veterinarian somewhere, he told us about pets and their paws and how they can stand up to extreme weather. And if anyone knows about pets in the cold, it's Dr. Nelson.
The Iditarod.
There you go.
All right.
He shared that frostbite strikes the areas of the body that have the slowest circulation and are therefore easily chilled. Pets have greater circulation in their feet than humans do, enabling them to withstand low temperatures without wearing shoes or boots. There you go.
Well, that
so Wayne,
answers that.
Now that you've pondered that for so long, I just told you how it works.
I'm so relieved.
I knew you would be. So the next time you take Lala or whoever your animal is outside, make sure,
Lala?
I don't know, make sure, my dog is Bentley, make sure you don't need to put boots on him or shoes. He'll be fine.
How did you know it was named Lala?
I just made it up.
Oh, lucky guess.
I know.
Yeah.
Bentley and Lala.
Yeah, I'm often there and whatever. Yeah. But did you know, I wonder also how they stamp bugs.
How they what?
How they stomp bugs when their feet are cold like that. But now I know their feet aren't really that cold. It's because they're Lala and they bring.
Oh my goodness. We have gone
got
off into
confused.
another land.
I think I got confused.
So I tell you what we'll do. Let's go on to the interview and let's see Wayne introduce Kim with the Red Cross, and we're actually going to, no, we've already done her. We're going to Veterans Affairs, and we're going to go to Jessica. Jessica with...
Today we're in the Veteran Services Office and we're talking with Shawn Moore. Shawn is the Veteran Service Officer here, and thanks for talking with us. How are you doing?
I'm doing just wonderful. And yourself?
I'm doing great, but it's a busy time for you right now. There's a lot going on. Let me ask you this. What changes, if any, need to be known by those who are about to separate from service?
There aren't really any changes for those that are about to separate from service.
Yeah.
But those that are already receiving benefits, especially the pension benefit, they're trying to make the process a little easier. They've eliminated the EVR form that normally has to be filled out every year and turned in.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sending out letters to those who are currently receiving pension, letting them know that that is no longer necessary.
So it's not necessary to fill out the EVR form.
Correct.
Up until now, they've had to do it every year.
Correct.
Now they don't have to.
Right.
Well, that's good
along
news.
with the medical expense form. They still have to do the medical expenses,
Right.
but just not the EVR.
Okay, medical expense form has to be filled out each year. Now, this is a good thing. Any other, and that's not a big change, but that'll help our veterans to some degree.
Correct.
All right, a little less paperwork, which we're all in favor of.
Exactly.
Yeah, less on you too, I imagine.
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay. So, exactly for anyone who may not be military or who may not know what you do, what do you do? What does the Veteran Services Office do?
Basically, we just assist the veteran with any type of benefits they're looking to apply for from the VA.
When they come out of service, they separate from whatever branch they're in. They're not always aware of everything available to them. Is that correct?
This is most correct.
Most correct. So it's your job to help inform them.
Correct.
Now, are they told when they separate from their branch of service to come to you?
No.
They're not told that.
Many times it's word of mouth.
They don't know about you. They're not given that information.
No.
All right. So it may be up to veterans who are already out of service, who have separated for some time, to inform those coming out
Exactly.
about your office.
Exactly.
All right. I would certainly think that as someone separates from service, they retire from the Air Force, so their time is up, or from the Navy or Marines or Army or Coast or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They would be told about your services and what you offer here.
Well, oftentimes they do have a briefing as they're getting out, called a TAP briefing.
Yeah.
It depends on where you are and if they have someone available to give that briefing. It's my understanding that right now at Seymour Johnson, there isn't anyone there to give that part of the briefing.
So we need somebody in that position
Yes.
to help out. But now this is important though. You fill a need here, letting veterans know exactly what's available to them.
Correct.
How to fill out the forms.
Well, actually, we fill out the forms for them. They just have to come in with the information.
So if you're a veteran, you're recently retired, or you're getting ready to separate, or your time is up, or whatever, you need to come by the Veteran Services Office here at 2001 East Ash Street, right? What are your hours here?
We're here from 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday.
Okay, from 8 in the morning until 7 in the evening, Monday through Thursday. And you cover medical? What are some of the areas you do help them with?
We help with disability benefits, like I said, medical and going to the VA Medical Center, education benefits, not the GI Bill, but any other education benefit.
Any other education benefit except the GI Bill?
Correct.
Now, don't we have a veterans medical facility that's soon going to be available here in Goldsboro?
There's going to be a clinic opening sometime, all they tell me is sometime between now and March.
Okay.
So I don't know the exact date, but it will be affiliated with the Fayetteville VA Medical Center.
Okay.
So if you're currently going to the Fayetteville VA Medical Center, they will be sending out notices to let you know when it opens so that your information can be transferred to the clinic, and then you can start going to the clinic.
Okay, that's a clinic here locally. But now, what about anyone who is not yet affiliated with the Fayetteville clinic?
Then
Can they start?
no, then they would have to wait for the facility to actually be open, and then they can go to the facility and register.
Okay.
It's just those that are already registered in the system that they're going to transfer in.
I see. And you say that's due to be open sometime in the next few months?
Correct.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yes, it is.
Is that going to help alleviate some of your paperwork?
No, it would probably
add
make
to it?
Yes, it would probably double it, to tell you the truth.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So aside from you help with education, you help with medical, any other areas you help our veterans?
There are, such as, so the ones that nobody wants to talk about, like burial benefits and the cemetery markers and all those kind of things.
But that's so important.
Well,
That is so important.
It is very important, but like I said, a lot of times people don't want to talk about that part.
Well, I can understand that, because when a young service person gets out of the Army or the Marines or whatever, they're thinking they have their whole life ahead of them. They don't want to think about that.
Exactly.
But they do need to think about it.
Yes, they do. Or
You
at
do need
least
to think about it.
let their next of kin have some idea of what they want,
Yeah.
their wishes.
Yeah. And you can handle all that for them.
I can get that done for them.
Did you say, as I recall, just a few moments ago, all they need to do is come in?
Well, they need to make an appointment.
Okay, make an appointment. What's your phone number?
The phone number is 919-731-1490.
731-1490.
Yes.
And then what happens? Once they make an appointment, they come in.
They come in, and then we complete the paperwork that's needed, and it's sent to the VA.
All right, now once they come in and complete the paperwork, you sit down with them and go through all this, and they want and need help with, say, education. You help them with that. And then down the road, next year after that, they need help with medical. Do they still need to come back for that, or do you have all that information already? And they just need to call up and say, Sean, I need help with medical.
Now, for each different thing that they want to apply for, they would need to come in. We have most of the information, so they don't have to bring on their 214 every time they come in, but they still have to come in because there's forms for them to sign to verify that they're the ones requesting the services.
Right. So you need the 214.
Then initially, yes.
Initially. All right. Anything else you need?
Well,
Photo ID?
No, believe it or not, no. But it just depends on the benefit that they're requesting, what other information is needed.
Yeah. Okay. How long is this? Have you been in this office here?
May would be 6 years.
Really?
Yes.
Well, this office has been in existence for quite some time,
Yes.
and you have been here for 6 years. Her name is Shawn Moore,
Yes.
and she knows what she's doing here. So if you need help, if you're about to separate from service, if you're retired and you have a question or two, you answer a lot of questions, don't you?
Yes. I'd be glad to answer questions.
731-1490, is that right?
Yes.
731-1490. Shawn Moore is her name, and she's waiting for you to call. She's open Monday through Thursday, right? Aren't you waiting for them to call?
Well, either myself or Miss Sandy.
Or Sandy?
Yes.
Okay.
She is my assistant, so.
Okay.
Most likely they would talk to Miss Sandy when they call to make the appointment.
Okay. You'll talk to Sandy or Shawn. All right. 731-1490. I think I hear a phone. No, that's a bird. I'm sorry. Anyway, Anyway, thank you, Sean, for talking with us. Sean Moore with the Veteran Services Office. She can help, and if you need help, she can help you. We're with Jessica Strickland, horticulture agent with the Cooperative Extension Service. Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Prunes. Prunes are interesting. Is that what we're talking about?
How about some pruning?
Oh, pruning.
Yes.
Pruning. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, we're talking pruning.
Yes.
Yeah. So this time of year, people want to grab the old tree saw and the old shrubbery cutter and just go out and have at it.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Probably not. There is a lot of technique to pruning and ways to take care of your plant, keep it healthy. So there is some proper and improper ways of pruning, and pruning is one of those that some people get very carried away with and do too much, and other times then people might be hesitant to actually prune it. So there's kind of, see different types that occur.
First of all, do your homework.
Yes,
right?
that's right.
And not everything is pruned at the same time.
No, it's not. A lot of things are pruned during this time, but there are some things you don't want to prune. A good example is like azaleas. You don't want to prune your azaleas right now because the flower buds are already set for the spring, and if you prune it right now, you're cutting off a lot of your flower buds in your spring bloom.
Is that true for forsythia and for gardenias?
Yeah, a lot of your spring blooming shrubs, you don't want to prune them right now.
Okay. So do not prune the spring blooming shrubs, because if you do, you're going to cut your flowers off.
Right.
Right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, it doesn't hurt it, does it? Does it hurt the shrub?
No, as long as you're pruning it properly, it doesn't hurt it. But you just lost your flowers, or at least lost some of them. You could have, ended up with some that's left over, but you've probably reduced it quite a bit.
So you mentioned pruning properly. How do you prune properly?
It really depends on the plant. A lot of plants are pruned different ways. If you're talking about trees, usually I say with trees is the first thing you're going to do is get rid of your 3 Ds.
Ds.
Yes, and that's your dead, damaged, and diseased branches. So,
Dead, damaged, diseased.
So that's usually the first thing you do is if there's anything dead, you want to get rid of it, and anything diseased, get rid of that also. And if it's been a branch that's broke over the winter, been damaged, go ahead and get rid of that, because all 3 of those allow for great places for pests to get in, diseases and insects. So it's good for the health of the tree to eliminate those possible sources for pests from the tree.
Okay, the 3 Ds. The duh, and duh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Dead, damaged, disease.
Yes.
All right. Now, are there any trees? All trees can be pruned this time of year, I guess. Can they not?
A lot of them can.
Except the flowering.
You want to be careful with your flowering
Dogwood
spring,
trees.
like dogwoods,
Yeah.
red buds. You
Yeah.
want to be careful. You could prune some, but just realize you're taking a branch, you've took off some flower buds for the spring.
Okay.
But a lot of your shade trees and so forth, you would go ahead and prune. Usually we say late February. You want to prune them late winter before it starts. You have a flush of growth. Sometimes if you prune and there's a flush of growth, you've just encouraged more growth, and you're going to end up in the long run with more pruning to have to do.
All right. Well, how much should you prune at one time?
Usually we say about 1/3. You don't want to go over 1/3 of the foliage or plant material at a time.
Okay. If you have a tree with a canopy that's up high, and there's nothing down below, should you cut 1/3 of the tree or 1/3 of the canopy? I know that's a silly question, but I can ask them.
Yeah, 1/3. I'd say they can be 1/3. You're talking about 1/3 of the tree. That's quite a bit.
You cut 1/3 of the whole tree, you're not going to have a canopy.
And, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And you pretty much topped it off, and we usually don't recommend topping them off that way.
No, you don't top them off.
Yeah.
Which brings me to
crepe myrtles.
Crepe myrtles,
yes.
Thank you. Yeah, like these.
Exactly.
Like these crepe myrtles here.
Right.
Now these crepe myrtles are beautiful.
They are.
And I must say, here we are in the middle of winter, looking at a shot that was taken in the middle of summer. But now these crepe myrtles are beautiful back here. This is not a cherry.
Yes, and it's a great example of ones that are pruned properly. There's always a big debate, and this is always a big controversy about how to prune crepe myrtles.
Right.
A lot of people go and top them off, and all you have is little stubs sticking up.
I see that all the time.
And they're left like that. And it's not the way we recommend it. The reason is where you've cut it off, you get a lot of little bitty branches that come out.
Yeah.
They're weakly attached to that stub that was left, and they break off very easily. Then you got that damaged branch where you have disease opportunity and pest problems. And then also once you do that, if you watch over time, those types of trees have been topped year after year. They just don't grow as well. They don't look as healthy. They just don't have a good form. And there's other trees like that that are also topped, and we don't recommend topping them for any trees.
So how do you, is there a method? I know there is a method.
Yeah.
But what's the method of pruning
Crepe
crepe
myrtles.
myrtles?
Yeah. Usually with crepe myrtles, one thing is you want the 3 main trunks. Usually we say 3 to 5 trunks. Crepe myrtles are one of those that it's got multi-trunks. And you see some that have got 1 and they do fine. But a lot of times what we think looks nice is having at least 3 to 5 trunks.
Right.
And so you want to prune the other competing trunks to the ground or to where it meets up with one of the main trunks. Take that out so you've just got those 3.
So leave 3 or 5.
Right, and that's something to start early when you first have it, is to start training it just to have 3 and eliminating the other possible trunks that are trying to come up. Once it's bigger and trying to go back, it's a little bit tougher because then you're trying to pick out which one is not going to create a large hole,
right,
and so forth. So it's something that if you can train it early on, that's where you end up with the ones behind us where they have those nice trunks and they're evenly spaced and look good.
Yes. Now these are beautiful here, but
right.
these have some age on them as well.
Right. Yeah, they've been there for a while.
And like this one right here, this is a single trunk. All right.
Yeah.
Now was that made? It wasn't. Well, was that pruned to be a single trunk, or is that the cultivar? Is that an example of that particular?
Well, it might have been just pruned that way, probably.
Okay. All right.
And,
So that looks pretty good, though.
it
the
does.
single trunk. So. So how do you do you go down to a point and say, well, gee, I want to cut that out, that limb out, rather than
that's what you're doing,
top?
is you're being more selective. It does take more time, but in the long run, it does make the tree look better. Is you're taking, say, if you want, another thing we have to look at is crossing branches. If they're crossing branches, they're going to be eventually rubbing each other, and that can cause an open wound. Again, it goes back to damage.
Seen that.
And so if you, especially branches going inward, you don't want the ones going inward, you want them to go out. So if you have one going the wrong way, I would follow that branch back to where it meets up with a branch you want to keep, and then cut it there. And if you look, there's kind of a ridge whenever a branch meets another branch, and it's called the branch collar. That's a little ridge, and that's where you cut just in front of that. Make a cut there.
At the collar.
Yeah.
So as you have a limb coming up from the crepe myrtle,
Yes.
where another limb comes out,
Right.
at that joint right there, where the joint is a collar, a little thick area.
Yeah, and it's just a little small ridge, and we recommend cutting right in front of that. If you cut it flush and you've cut into that collar, then it's going to be harder for it to heal. They found that branch collar is where the active growth occurs, where it'll heal over very quickly, and then you've got the best chance then of healing quickly, not causing any problems, and looking nice.
All right. So is this a time of year to be cutting crepe myrtle?
Usually you can. Late February is what we usually say.
Late February.
So maybe a little bit
crepe
longer, but as we get into February, most people start pruning them then.
All right. What about ornamental grasses? Is
Ornamental
this the time
grasses,
of year for that?
Usually those you kind of wait a little bit, maybe
February?
Yeah, maybe late February or so. You want to be careful that if you prune them, cut them back too early, and especially with the weather we've been having where it's been warm.
Yeah.
They might be tricked into starting to grow, and you don't want to kill the green that's kind of in there protected.
We've seen that.
Yeah, we've had some things that are starting to flower and leaf out a little early.
So we're talking miscanthus, we're talking
liriope.
Monkey grass.
Yeah, the monkey grass.
Some people call it.
Pampas grass, the larger ones.
Pampas grass, yeah.
And so there's several types of those ornamental grasses that can be cut back.
I love pampas grass, but it cuts me to pieces.
Yeah,
yeah
you gotta have gloves for that one.
Yeah, you gotta have gloves
and
for
sleeves.
And it's so easy to grow.
It is.
Very easy to grow. In fact, it's easy to root and just
That's
stick it
right.
in another place. And it grows. and then it cuts you again.
Yeah.
But all right, what about? Well, gee whiz, we're out of time. We'll have to talk more about this a little later on.
Sure, sounds great.
Okay, but just remember, spring flowering shrubs.
Wait on those.
Wait on those until after they flower.
Yes,
That
summer
would be
flowering.
azaleas and such.
Yeah, and summer flowering like crepe myrtles, you can go ahead and prune late February.
Crepe myrtle's okay to do now.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, good. Right, Jessica Strickland of
Yes.
the Cooperative Extension Service. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back on WGTV today. That was of course
Shawn and Jessica.
Shawn and Jessica from the Veteran Services Office and from the Cooperative Extension Service.
Exactly.
Lots of good information there. Well, Women in Business is a big event. It's coming up at Wayne Community College during the month of March. They're going to have 4 programs there, all presented by different folks, and it's aimed at business women, perhaps someone who is interested in starting their own business. You don't have to be a business owner. You don't even have to be working. If you're interested in starting your own business, or you want to know about credit, business credit, or if you want to find out about how women can work together more effectively, there is a program for you at Wayne Community College. This is a series offered by the Small Business Center. And it asks the question, who should attend? Well, the answer is women interested in starting a business, women currently in business, and other female business professionals. Registration is necessary. You need to call 739-6940, 739-6940, and get information about pre-registering for these events.
That's right.
All right. Let's see what else we
And
got
every
here.
month they have different seminars offered to the public, and they're all free of charge.
Yeah, and soft skills, by the way. I want to mention that as well. Working on work relationships and interviewing and teamwork and communication and critical thinking. These are all, these are for everyone. Everyone who's considering, if you've just graduated from college, if you've just graduated from high school, and you're looking for a career.
Or anyone looking for a
Or
career, want to
anyone.
change a career.
Yeah,
If you're going
just
for an
anybody.
interview.
Yeah, anybody, regardless of age. If you need help in polishing your interview skills, if you need help in how to dress for an interview, what to wear, what not to wear, and how to speak and be interviewed, then they can help you at the Small Business Center and the Business and Industry Center at Wayne Community College. You can call Jenna, or you can call anyone there in that department at 735-5151 or 739-7011, 739-7011, and ask about soft skills. The next class being offered will be February 25th. It goes for a couple of weeks. It goes for a week, rather. And then there's one in March, there's one in April, there's one in May.
Do they offer the classes at night, Wayne? Do we know?
We do not.
We do not know.
We
Okay.
do not know.
All right. Well, if you're interested in the classes, you can look at the website, or you can give them a call, and they can answer those questions
That's
for
right.
you.
Go to waynecc.edu.
Exactly. That's exactly right, Wayne.
Woo! Okay. What a great
Yes.
day. All right. Birthdays today include, of course, we mentioned Abraham Lincoln's birthday. Arsenio Hall is 57. Joe Garagiola.
Who was he?
He was a famous catcher, a baseball catcher, but he went on to become a sportscaster. He's 86 years
Oh,
today.
my gracious.
He is. Great announcer as well. He really knew the game. Joe Don Baker, the actor who played Walking Tall, and then somebody else took his place, but he's done a lot of other things. Joe Don Baker's 76 today. Josh Brolin, 44. China Phillips is also 44. A birthday today for basketball is Bill Russell. The tall man is 78 years today. Actress Joanna Kerns, 59 years today. All right?
That's great.
Is that it?
I believe it might be.
No, let's make it it.
Make it it.
Make it it. In fact, you can make it too, simply by joining us at 7 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday, here on WGTV, Channel 10. And in Northern Wayne County, it's Channel 99.
That's
on-
exactly right. I
on
get asked that
Uverse.
on a regular basis.
Do you really?
People are asking about the AT&T channel. Yes.
The AT&T Uverse, I believe it's
That's
called.
right.
Channel 99 in Northern Wayne County. Here in Southern Wayne County, Goldsboro, City of Goldsboro, we're on Channel 10.
Well, I get asked about Direct TV all the time, which we're not on, but you know what? We are on YouTube.
We are on YouTube. Simply go to the county website WayneGov.com and click on the YouTube link on the right side of the page, or
you can go to the city website, which is goldsboronc.gov. There's two places. You can go right there to the WGTV link, click on that, it'll take you straight to the show, or you can go to our YouTube channel.
And all our programs are archived right there, all of them, even those that I'd rather you not even see.
Even those where we're laughing crazy and having a goofy day, just like earlier today.
As if we really did that now, okay?
That's right.
So join us again tomorrow morning and every morning at 7 o'clock here on WGTV Today, Monday through Friday. And until tomorrow morning, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.